What's going on, guys? Doing arms today. So we're going to start with incline curls here to kind of stretch out the biceps. We're going to do an overhead rope extension over here. We're going to come back over, do incline hammer curls, and then we're going to finish with another rope press down for the triceps. So this one I start light. I'm just trying to stretch out the biceps. So I like to get a little twist here just to kind of loosen everything up. And now what I'm going to do on this one, sometimes I'll do the rotation like this, and then sometimes I'll just keep it straight. So depending on what I'm trying to focus on, if I'm trying to focus on a little bit more like detail and shaping, then I'm going to get that rotation in there to kind of round out that bicep. Today, I'm going to go a little bit heavier and focus more on just putting on some size. So we're just going to keep it even and just really focus just on the bicep, not the rotation. So both are good for different reasons. One's not better than the other. One's not better than the other. So it's good to use one variation one time, use another variation another time. If you followed me for a while, you know I use a ton of different variations. We're still doing incline curls. It's just changing the way that you do it. We're gonna go a little further back. This is a little too high. So the incline, I used to say go 45 degrees all the time for everybody. And I kind of disagree with that now. Everybody's arm's going to be a little bit different. Your mobility is going to be different. Your flexibility is going to be different. So really, when you're doing an incline curl, play with that incline a little bit and find where you're going to feel the best stretch and the best activation for you. Another important thing is really keep those wrists locked straight at the bottom. What you don't want to do is a lot of people at the bottom, they let their wrist kind of relax like this, and that releases that tension. So we want to kind of keep the wrist hooked underneath. That's when we get a much better stretch. So now we're going to come over here. Now this setup I love starting with for my triceps using this is called the infinity arm from Exponent Edge. So you can set this here, you can move this arm up. So what I'm going to do is overhead extensions for the triceps. But this pad lets me really brace my back so that I'm a lot more stabilized and I can really drive, as opposed to a lot of times if you're just standing freely, still a good exercise, but that weight's gonna kind of pull you back. You don't have as much stability. So not everybody has this, but it's really cool if you do. And then we're using that with the Voltra here, which is really cool. It's this electronic weight machine. Let's go 45 to warm up with. So you just dial up the weight. It uses a direct drive motor for resistance. So what we're gonna do on this one this time is sometimes I do this grip here, which is gonna be more straight. Today I'm gonna grab the plastic like this, and it's gonna be more of like a push out rather than an up. So go here. All right. Those feel good. I always like to start with a stretch position exercise. What that does is putting that muscle in more of a stretch position in the beginning. It activates more muscle fibers from the start. Once those muscle fibers have been activated, they're going to be active a lot more throughout the rest of the workout. So with bodybuilding, doing a stretch position exercise first can sacrifice a little bit of strength for your compound movements later in the workout, but you're still getting more muscle fiber activation. So you're not necessarily going to move as much weight, but you're going to get more out of the exercise. So bodybuilding, that's super important. Strength training, like on my strength programs, is different. Then we start with the compound exercises. We'll do like some sort of like a light warm up first. But when we're doing strength, it is about, muscle activation as well, but strength is a lot more about nervous system activation. All right, hammer curls. Ooh. All right. I'll come over here. So arms, I really like to do a lot of volume. It's lighter weights. I mean, it's still heavy for the arms, for the muscle we're training. But overall, it's light, right? So like my arms are not going to lift anywhere near the weight that I lift with my chest, back, legs, things like that. So we're not necessarily training as intense. It's still intense for the muscle. It's not as intense on the overall body, as to my point. I'm not as out of breath. I am out of breath right now, but not like with chest and back or legs. So I can move a little bit more and kind of cram more volume into a shorter period of time. Oh, shit. It's a good first set. A little bit of blood going, not too bad. What the fuck am I doing? So a big thing on this too, let me show you before I pick the weights up. Especially as we get heavier this set, you want to keep the abs tight so that chest stays down. What a lot of people have a tendency to do on this is come like this, and as they curl, they lift the chest, right? So when you do that, all right, watch my arms. If I don't move my arms at all, and I just lift my chest, look how much range of motion that is from here all the way to here, right? That's like a good 1.5 feet maybe of range of motion that's not biceps at all. You're just literally heaving your chest around and tossing the weight. So don't do that. Keep those abs locked in, chest down. Just curl up like this. We do a little drop set. I love drop sets. I've had to be careful with them because sometimes I overuse them and go into too much overtraining. Oh, that's good enough. Well, on this one, the overhead extension I was talking about earlier is, so when I'm grabbing like the rope and I have the plastic down here, my elbows are a little bit more tucked and I'm going knuckles towards the ceiling. So that's gonna hit a little bit more the outside here. And then today, where I'm grabbing the plastic like this, it's putting my hands in more of a twisted position. So I'm a little bit more flared out. As it pulls down, it's gonna tuck my elbows in as it pulls, just that way. But as I press, I'm gonna rotate out. So that twist is hitting a little bit more of the outside of the tricep there. So again, one's not better than the other. It's just kind of targeting a little bit different area. So same thing on this one. When I'm doing that extension, super important, keep those abs tight so it's not pulling me back like this. That's one of the benefits of using this pad here, is it kind of helps you have something to push against. Makes it a little bit easier to do that. So even if you are doing it freestanding, still make sure you're using those abs. All right, hammer curls. Oh man. All right, first set done. That was a good one. Next, let's see, we'll do barbell curls. It's regular barbell curls. We'll do, barbell, or not barbell, straight bar, press down. We'll do Swiss bar curls. I don't know, something for triceps. Maybe kickbacks, I'll see. All right, so our second set for today, we're gonna do barbell curls here. Then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna do the straight bar press down. We're gonna come back over here and we're gonna do curls with the Swiss bar for the brachialis, so that's really cool if you have access to a Swiss bar. It basically makes it like a hammer barbell curl with that neutral grip. And then this particular bar has those middle grips that kind of angle in. So it's kind of in between like a hammer curl and a reverse curl. So do that for the brachialis. And then we're going to finish with this V-bar press down. So it's going to be kind of like an underhand grip driving in like this. So it's almost like a diamond push-up, but with a reverse grip, and it's going to really blast that outside the tricep. So barbell curls first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook my hands underneath. So rather than coming kind of arching out like this, it's still going to arch, but I'm going to think more of like a pull in. So as I come down, I want to kind of keep that hand hooked underneath. I don't want to come back like this. And I'm thinking about driving. I'm trying to keep my arms stable, but in my brain, I'm thinking drive that bicep back like into the bone, and it's going to really get a good squeeze. Nice tight grip is important. Yeah, it's fucking killing my bicep from that fucking thing yesterday. Sold a punching bag to somebody last night just to get out of the gym, because I don't use it that much. It's like I'm knocking them the fuck over. I got one of those standing ones, and every time I punch it, it just falls over. So that didn't work. So I'm gonna have to get a hanging one. So anyway, I'm selling it to get out of here. And it has like the heavy base. I think it was like 170 pounds full of sand. And so I was picking it up to put in this lady's car. Kind of strained my bicep, and it's acting up a little bit today. So that's doing okay. Just gotta be careful. So I'm really focused on slow, getting a good controlled stretch, because I don't want to hurt it. But I'm trying to use that stretch to kind of pull those fibers apart and kind of open it up a little bit. All right, press downs. Yeah, so today, this is, a normal arm workout, but this is kind of our dress rehearsal, so to speak, for refilming. So I'm redoing my app, top to bottom, all new exercises, refilming all the current exercises, plus adding about 300 new ones. Right now I got 18 programs on there. I'll probably have upwards of 30 programs with the update, plus a whole bunch of new stuff. So today is the first time training shirtless in like a year or two, I think. So I'm just kind of testing out this oil, kind of testing out my timing with my water, my carbs, and all that. So if I'm not as talkative as I am my other full YouTube videos, that's kind of why today is I'm a little bit preoccupied with my body, making sure everything's looking good, or testing out the lighting, in the editing, testing out the color correction, all that kind of stuff, just to kind of bring you guys the best production value that we can have. So a little bit dehydrated today, a little bit hungry today. I'm training mostly fasted, which I don't normally do. But that's another thing, is with production value, I'm trying to keep my stomach real tight. So that's a big thing a lot of people don't understand with what you see on social media, on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, versus reality. And like, I try to bring, authenticity, but at the same time, production value. So like, one thing that you see a lot of times is if you have, kind of a bigger belly and some of the, filming and stuff like that, people want to talk shit. And what they don't understand is, like, to do this, especially at the level that I do and a lot of people do, the amount of food and water and everything you have to consume, that's a lot in there. So if I'm eating a normal day and training in the afternoon like I normally do, I'm super full, I'm gonna look really bloated and have a thick waist, which is not ideal for the best production value that I can have. So like today, we're training in the morning, which I don't normally do. I said I'm a bit dehydrated. I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm fasted, but that's gonna keep my skin tighter. It's gonna keep my waist tighter, so it's gonna look good for the footage. So it's one of those, it's like, people want authenticity, but at the same time, they want things to look really good as well. I mean, it'd be like if I just filmed something with just my phone instead of a camera, didn't do any editing, didn't do any color correction, didn't have good lighting. It just looks like a blah video and nobody's interested in it. You do the, higher production value, that's what people want to see. So you got to kind of figure out how to balance everything together to make the best product that you can. But anyway, let's do this so I don't get too cold sitting here. So Swiss bar curls. That's just feeling a little bit funky in that bicep, so we're gonna go a little lighter for the next one. But speaking of that, that's the thing I'm trying to be very careful of, is, oh, excuse me, not doing anything to hurt myself. I'm getting ready to do all this filming. So, I mean, we're going to be filming tons of exercises every day for the next 3-4 months, probably something like that. So, big thing I cannot afford right now is an injury. And that's why training dehydrated is a little scary, but just got to be careful. So it gives me the opportunity to really focus on my form, not go as heavy, focus on the pump, which is all for the look. I'm not going to be really making progress, so to speak, with the way that I'm training right now, because it's for production, not for progress. But that's just a thing to keep in mind. I mean, I remind myself constantly, but for you guys to keep in mind too, is you don't want to get hurt. Like, that's the last thing I could do. Last thing I could afford right now is to, tweak something, tear something, and then be out for months, especially after like the dieting and everything I put my body through to get to this point. I don't want all that to go down the drain and have to wait and have to start over, all that kind of shit. So very much operating under better safe than sorry. So that's one, guys. I mean, I talk about it a lot, and it's always an internal battle for me personally, is going heavier, going lighter, staying the same, picking a weight that's going to be most beneficial. And the heaviest that you can lift is not always the most beneficial. Oh, man. All right. So I've finished. We're going to do high cable curls to really work on shaping that peak to the bicep. We're going to do a press down over there with different handle. What am I doing? Wrong plates. We'll do seated hammer curls with the hammers. And then we'll finish with some probably reverse press down. So I like to take a little bit of a step back, so I'm just slightly off center, so that when I curl, I'm kind of coming back, like behind my head is what I'm aiming for. I keep the abs tight, ribs down. Drop it a little bit. Just the movement and the squeeze. You're not going to set any personal records on cable curls, all right? Oh, fuck. Basically, you just want a good weight where you can get a good squeeze and a good flex and just go till you can't anymore, pretty much. I mean, still stay within the proper rep ranges, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. So there, and we're gonna use this. There's actually like a back attachment for like a close grip pull downs or rows. And I like to flip it over and use it for a press down attachment. Okay. Man. All right, and hammer curls with the hammers. This is one of my favorite exercises for the arms. One, because it's just cool as fuck. But two, it really just hits the arms in a totally different way and really gets that thickness. Oh. That's it. Oh my God.
You can do it.
Oh. That's it. Whew. Those ones just fucking fail at the end. You're just going, 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 and then you're just not. Oh, fuck that. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Oh. Oh, fuck.